Most people think successful gardening requires expensive tools, chemical fertilizers, and years of experience, but it doesn't have to be that complicated. Today I'm going to share 20 time-tested Amish gardening secrets that have been producing abundant harvest for over 300 years without modern machinery, chemicals, or guesswork. If you're new here, welcome to Zero to Purpose, where we take simple hands-on steps to live more creatively, sustainably, and intentionally. These techniques have sustained families through economic hardship, droughts, and harsh winters, proving that nature's wisdom combined with patient observation creates gardens that practically run themselves. Grab a tea, settle in, and let's begin. Secret 1. Planning soil. 3 years ahead. Amish gardeners plan their best garden plots 3 years in advance, building soil that produces twice the harvest of unprepared ground. This long-term thinking eliminates the need for synthetic fertilizers forever. Year 1, plants like clover and alfalfa send deep roots into compacted soil, breaking up clay and fixing nitrogen naturally. These cover crops aren't harvested but cut and left as natural mulch, enriching the soil where they grew. Year 2 adds layers of compost-aged manure and mineral amendments like crushed eggshells. The decomposing organic matter feeds billions of soil microbes, creating living soil. By year 3, you have earth that's alive with beneficial organisms ready to feed plants all season without any store-bought products. Your plants will grow faster, resist disease better, and produce 40 to 60% larger yields. This patient approach means you're always preparing next year's bed while harvesting from this year's, creating a continuous cycle of soil improvement. Secret 2. The Three Sisters Planting Method. The Three Sisters method combines corn, beans, and squash in one planting bed, a technique perfected by Native Americans and later adopted by the Amish. This matters because it eliminates the need for fertilizers, trellises, and constant weeding while tripling your harvest in the same space. The corn grows tall and provides natural support for the beans to climb. The beans pull nitrogen from the air and deposit it into the soil, feeding all three plants naturally. The squash spreads wide at ground level, shading out weeds and keeping moisture locked in. Choose a sunny 4x4 foot bed and plant corn first when soil reaches 60 degrees. Once corn is 6 inches tall, plant beans around each stalk, then add squash seeds at the bed's edges. Water deeply once a week and the system maintains itself with no weeding or fertilizing needed. You'll harvest 3 crops from one space, reduce labor by 60%, and build healthier soil every season. Plant pole beans, not bush varieties, so they'll climb the corn naturally without smothering it. Secret 3. Copper pennies in pots. Placing a clean copper penny in your plant pots acts as a natural defense system against fungal diseases and slugs. This simple trick can save entire crops from blight and rot. Copper releases tiny amounts of ions into the soil that are toxic to fungi and soft-bodied pests, but harmless to plants and humans. The Amish have used this method for generations as an alternative to chemical fungicides. Use pre-1982 pennies because they contain 95% copper, or purchase copper strips from garden centers. Drop 2 to 3 clean pennies into each pot before adding soil and plants. The copper ions create an invisible barrier that fungal spores and slugs avoid. Replace pennies every 2 to 3 seasons as the copper gradually depletes. Your tomatoes, peppers, and herbs will show dramatically less fungal spotting and slug damage. Clean pennies with vinegar and salt before use because tarnished pennies release copper more slowly. This depression-era technique costs almost nothing but provides protection equivalent to commercial fungicides. Amish farmers rotate crops through the same field in a specific sequence: corn, followed by oats or barley, then legumes, then cover crops. This simple rotation prevents pests and diseases from establishing while eliminating the need for chemical pesticides. Most garden pests and diseases are crop-specific. When you plant a different family of crops each year, pests can't overwinter and attack the same plant the following season. Meanwhile, legumes replenish nitrogen that corn depletes, creating a self-sustaining nutrient cycle. Divide your garden into 4 sections and plant a different crop family in each section. Year 1, plant corn in section A, beans in B, roots in C, and greens in D. Year 2, shift everything one section clockwise. Keep a simple garden map each year so you remember the rotation. Pest problems drop by 60 to 70%, soil stays nutrient-rich, and diseases rarely take hold. Never plant tomatoes, peppers, or potatoes in the same spot 2 years running because they're in the same family and attract identical pests. This ancient wisdom prevents problems before they start. Traditional Amish farmers plant above-ground crops during the waxing moon and root crops during the waning moon. This ancient practice can increase germination rates by up to 25%. The moon's gravitational pull affects soil moisture just like it affects ocean tides. During the waxing moon, from new to full, moisture rises in the soil, encouraging seeds to sprout and grow upward. During the waning moon, from full to new, moisture moves downward, helping root vegetables establish deeper. Get a simple moon calendar or use a free moon phase app on your phone. Plant leafy greens, beans, tomatoes, and cucumbers 7 days before the full moon. Plant carrots, potatoes, onions, and beets 7 days after the full moon. Keep a garden journal noting which plantings thrived, and you'll develop your own timing over seasons. Better germination rates, stronger seedlings, and noticeably faster growth compared to random planting dates make this worth trying. Avoid planting anything during the new moon, the darkest 3 days, because Amish tradition says seeds rest then. Burying unglazed clay pots in your garden beds creates automatic water, efficient irrigation that works without electricity or timers. This 2,000-year-old technique can cut your watering time by 80%. Unglazed clay is porous and slowly weeps water into surrounding soil only when the soil dries out. The clay releases moisture directly to plant roots over days or weeks, eliminating daily watering and water waste from evaporation. Purchase unglazed terracotta pots 6 to 8 inches from garden centers and plug drainage holes with cork or waterproof caulk. Bury pots up to their rims near thirsty plants like tomatoes and peppers. Fill with water and place a lid or flat stone on top to prevent evaporation. Refill pots every 3 to 7 days depending on plant size and weather. You'll use 50 to 70% less water, eliminate wilting from missed waterings, and can leave your garden for a week without worry. For large plants, bury 2 pots on opposite sides to create overlapping moisture zones for even coverage. This ancient technology beats expensive drip systems. Traditional Amish gardens follow one strict rule: water in the morning, never in the evening. This simple timing change can cut fungal disease by 70%. Morning watering allows leaves to dry completely during the day. Wet foliage overnight creates perfect conditions for fungal diseases like blight, mildew, and rot to establish. Morning water also reduces slug activity because slugs prefer traveling across wet soil at night. Set a reminder or make it part of your morning routine and water between 6 and 10 a.m. Water at soil level, not overhead, because soaker hoses or clay pot systems deliver moisture without wetting leaves. If you miss a morning, wait until the next day rather than watering at night. You'll see dramatically fewer fungal problems, especially on tomatoes, squash, and cucumbers. On extremely hot days, a brief second watering at 3 to 4 p.m. is acceptable because leaves still have time to dry before nightfall. Research comparing morning versus evening watered gardens showed morning watered plants produced yields up to double those watered in the evening, all without fungicide applications. Laying cardboard sheets between rows or around plants slashes weeding time by 90% while improving soil health. What looks unfinished is actually a brilliant low-cost technique. Cardboard blocks sunlight, completely killing existing weeds and preventing new seeds from germinating. It retains moisture, beautifully reducing watering needs. Most surprisingly, earthworms love cardboard and are attracted to it, breaking it down into rich, organic matter. Collect boxes from local shops who are happy to give them away. Remove tape and staples, then lay cardboard directly on garden paths or around established plants. Add a thin layer of mulch on top to make it less obvious. Replace cardboard once a year as it breaks down, because by then it's become soil improvement. You'll experience minimal weeding, better moisture retention, improved soil structure, and it's essentially free. Wet the cardboard thoroughly before laying it down because it stays in place better and earthworms colonize it faster. The magic happens in multiple ways, creating barriers above ground while feeding beneficial organisms below ground. Dividing garden beds into 1-foot squares and planting each according to specific spacing guidelines allows Amish families to fit 4 times more plants in the same space. This method dramatically reduces weeding time while maximizing harvests. Traditional rows waste space between them. By eliminating rows and planting intensively in squares, you maximize every inch of soil. When plants grow this close together, their leaves quickly touch, creating living mulch that shades out weeds naturally. Build raised beds 4 by 4 feet, easily reachable from all sides. Divide into 16 1-foot squares using string or thin wooden dividers. Plant each square, according to plant size, 1 tomato per square, 4 lettuce plants per square, 16 radishes per square. Harvest and immediately replant empty squares to keep production continuous. You'll grow 4 times more vegetables from the same space with minimal weeding and easy access to all plants. Keep a diagram showing what's planted where, because it makes crop rotation planning much easier. This intensive method turns small spaces into productive food sources. If these old-world secrets are sparking some ideas for your own garden, tap the like button so more people can discover them. And tell me in the comments which of these 20 secrets are you most excited to try first. I love hearing what you're working on. These techniques have worked for 3 centuries and they'll work in your backyard too. Your experience matters, so share which methods you've already tried or which ones seem perfect for your growing conditions. Let's learn from each other. Secret 10. Succession planting for continuous harvest. Amish gardeners plant fast-growing crops in the same space multiple times per season, achieving 700 pounds of food from a living room-sized plot. This technique ensures fresh vegetables from spring through fall. Quick maturing crops like radishes 25 days or lettuce 45 days leave space for a second or third planting in the same season. The first crop shouldn't deplete what the second needs, so shallow-rooted radishes, followed by deep-rooted squash, works perfectly. Plant fast-maturing crops like radishes, lettuce, or spinach in early spring. As soon as you harvest, immediately replant the same space with another quick crop or a longer season vegetable. Keep detailed records of what's planted when, and you'll optimize timing each season. 3 harvests from one space instead of one extends your growing season by months. Always have seedlings started indoors so they're ready to transplant the moment you harvest the previous crop. This continuous production method means you're never without fresh food and you're making maximum use of limited garden space throughout the entire growing season. Secret 11. Vertical growing systems. Simple wooden trellises and arched structures maximize growing space by using vertical dimensions. Cucumber arches built over garden paths serve multiple functions simultaneously. Vertical cucumbers grow straighter, cleaner, and suffer less rot than ground-grown fruit. The arched structure provides shade for heat-sensitive crops below while keeping cucumbers at convenient picking height. These structures transform ordinary garden paths into productive growing zones. Build simple arches from cattle panels or heavy wire fencing, bent over garden paths, and anchor both ends firmly. Plant cucumbers, pole beans, or peas at the base on both sides. As vines grow, guide them onto the arch structure. Harvest regularly to encourage continued production, and the structure is permanent and reusable for years. You'll triple your harvest per square foot. Eliminate bending for harvest and create shaded walkways for heat-sensitive crops. Plant lettuce or spinach under cucumber arches because they'll thrive in the dappled shade during hot summer months. Vertical growing reclaims the most underutilized dimension in most gardens, turning paths into productive space. Secret 12. Wooden rain barrels for water independence. Traditional wooden rain barrels under downspouts capture roof runoff for garden use. A single roof can collect thousands of gallons during the growing season, representing both practical resource management and deep respect for natural cycles. A 1-inch rain event on a 1,000 square foot roof yields 600 gallons of water. Stored rainwater is chlorine-free and plants prefer it to treated tap water. This abundant resource costs nothing and reduces dependency on municipal water. Position food-grade barrels 50 to 55 gallons under roof downspouts and add mesh screens to filter debris. Install a spigot near the bottom for easy bucket filling or hose attachment. Clean screens monthly during growing season and drain and cover barrels before freezing weather. You'll have free unlimited water for your garden plus significant reduction in municipal water bills. Connect multiple barrels with overflow pipes to capture every drop during heavy rains. One family documented collecting over 4,000 gallons in a single growing season, enough to irrigate their entire garden without using city water once. Secret 13. The layered composting system. Amish composting follows a precise 3-layer system that creates optimal conditions for rapid decomposition without expensive equipment. This structure prevents the sour, anaerobic smell that plagues most home compost piles. The bottom layer of coarse materials creates crucial air pockets that prevent the pile from becoming compacted and smelly. The middle alternating layers balance carbon and nitrogen for maximum microbial activity. The top layer insulates while allowing moisture and air exchange. Start with a bottom layer of 6 to 8 inch pieces of corn stalks, thick branches, or dried sunflower stems to create airflow. For the middle layer, alternate thin 2-inch layers of nitrogen-rich greens like grass clippings, kitchen scraps with carbon-rich browns like dried leaves, straw-shredded paper in a 3-to-1 brown-to-green ratio. Add a top layer of loose straw or dried leaves as insulation and turn the pile weekly. Your compost will heat up properly, smell earthy instead of rotten, and decompose evenly throughout. Add thin dustings of existing garden soil between layers because it introduces beneficial bacteria that speed decomposition dramatically. Secret 14. Banana peel fertilizer for heavy feeders. Burying banana peels near tomato plants and roses provides slow-release potassium directly to roots. This depression-era technique produces noticeably larger, more abundant fruits and flowers. Banana peels contain high concentrations of potassium, which plants need for flowering and fruiting. As peels break down, they slowly release this nutrient exactly where roots can access it. Unlike commercial fertilizers that wash away buried peels, deliver nutrients for weeks. Save banana peels throughout the week. Some gardeners dry and crush them into powder for winter storage. Dig small holes 2 to 3 inches deep near plants that fruit or flower heavily and bury fresh or dried peels. Add more peels monthly during the growing season as previous ones decompose. You'll see tomatoes and roses that outperform neighbors' crops without expensive fertilizers. Chop peels into small pieces before burying because they'll decompose twice as fast. One grandmother taught this method during tough economic times when commercial fertilizers were too expensive. Her family would bury banana peels near tomato plants, producing tomatoes that put the neighbors' crops to shame. Secret 15. Deep but infrequent watering. Instead of daily shallow watering, Amish gardeners water deeply once or twice a week. This simple change encourages roots to grow downward, creating drought-resistant plants. Shallow daily watering trains roots to stay near the surface where they're vulnerable to heat and drought. Deep watering forces roots to follow moisture downward, creating stronger plants that can access water reserves during dry spells. Water slowly until moisture penetrates 6 to 8 inches deep and check by inserting a finger or stick into soil. Wait until the top 2 inches of soil dries out before watering again, typically 5 to 7 days. Adjust frequency based on weather and plant size, but always maintain the deep watering principle. Plants develop extensive root systems that withstand drought and heat stress far better than shallow-watered plants. Create slight depressions around plant bases to hold water and direct it downward instead of running off. Research has shown that deep-watered gardens use 30% less total water while producing healthier, more resilient plants compared to frequent shallow watering schedules. Secret 16. Wool socks as container liners. Old wool socks with holes find new life as moisture-regulating pot liners. This waste not want not practice improves drainage while retaining beneficial moisture. Wool naturally wicks moisture away from roots while retaining enough water to prevent rapid drying. The fibers create air pockets that improve drainage and prevent root rot. As wool slowly decomposes, it adds trace nutrients to the soil. Cut worn-out wool socks open to create flat pieces. Line the bottom and sides of pots before adding soil and overlap pieces if needed for full coverage. Replace wool liners annually as they break down, because by then they've enriched your potting soil. Container plants stay healthier with more consistent moisture levels and better drainage. Synthetic sock materials don't work because only natural wool provides the moisture-regulating properties. This technique emerged from Amish principles of using every resource fully before discarding anything. When socks develop holes beyond repair, they find new purpose, improving container gardens instead of ending up in landfills, creating value from what others consider waste. Secret 17. Coffee grounds for acid-loving plants. Used coffee grounds serve as an economical alternative to commercial soil acidifiers for plants like tomatoes, blueberries, and azaleas. This free resource improves soil structure while providing gentle acidity. Coffee grounds contain nitrogen and lower soil pH, gradually creating ideal conditions for acid-loving plants. Unlike chemical acidifiers that can shock plants, coffee grounds work slowly and safely. They also improve soil structure and attract earthworms. Collect used coffee grounds from your kitchen or ask local coffee shops for their spent grounds, because they usually give them away free. Spread a 1-inch layer around acid-loving plants and work it into the top 2 inches of soil. Add more grounds monthly during the growing season, never exceeding a 1-inch layer at once. You'll see healthier acid-loving plants, improved soil texture, and free fertilization from what would be waste. Let grounds dry completely before applying, because wet grounds can develop mold and compact into dense layers. Coffee grounds concentrated in soil around hydrangeas can intensify blue coloration of blooms by increasing soil acidity and enhancing aluminum absorption. Secret 18. Mulching with free materials. Fall leaves, chopped straw, grass clippings, and even shredded newspaper make excellent mulch that costs nothing. Applied in a 3-inch layer, these materials increase yields by up to 31% in drought conditions. Mulch dramatically reduces watering needs by preventing evaporation from soil surfaces. Beyond water conservation, mulch suppresses weeds, regulates soil temperature, and gradually breaks down to improve soil. Research from drought-prone areas confirms mulched gardens produce significantly more food with the same water. Collect free materials including bagged leaves from neighbors, straw from local farms, newspaper from your recycling. Apply a 3-inch layer around all plants, keeping mulch 2 inches away from stems to prevent rot. Refresh mulch mid-season as it breaks down and thins out. You'll reduce watering by 50%, minimize weeding, create cooler soil in summer, and see continuous soil improvement. Shred or chop materials before applying, because smaller pieces decompose faster and stay in place better. One documented study showed properly mulched vegetable gardens used 40% less water while producing 20% higher yields than unmulched control gardens. Secret 19. Hand tools built to last generations. Amish gardeners use high-carbon steel tools that are built to last decades, not seasons. The right tool makes work easier and more efficient, because a good stirrup hoe can weed a 100-foot row in minutes. Quality tools are properly balanced and designed for specific tasks. A stirrup hoe slides just under the soil surface to slice weeds without disturbing plant roots. A Warren hoe's pointed end creates perfect seed furrows and handles precision weeding. These specialized designs reduce effort dramatically. Invest in 3 essential tools, including a stirrup hoe for weeding, a Warren hoe for precision work, and a high-carbon steel trowel. Learn each tool's specific purpose and use it correctly, because this reduces strain and increases efficiency. Clean tools after each use and sharpen blades annually, because quality tools last generations with basic care. Garden tasks take half the time with less physical strain, and 1 quality tool outlasts 10 cheap replacements. Test tools before buying, because they should feel balanced and comfortable as natural extensions of your hands rather than awkward implements. Secret 20. Hidden water reservoirs in raised beds. Layers of composted woody material buried deep in raised beds act like natural sponges, storing water and releasing it slowly during dry periods. 1 cubic foot of this material can hold up to 1.5 gallons of water. Decomposing wood becomes incredibly absorbent, soaking up water during rain and irrigation. During dry spells, plant roots access this stored water reserve, creating automatic backup irrigation. This ancient technique is called Heirloom in Germany, but Amish farmers have practiced it for generations. When building raised beds, place logs, branches, or wood chips in the bottom 12 inches before adding soil. Let the wood age for 1 season before planting to allow initial decomposition to begin. Nothing else is needed, because the buried wood continues working for 5 to 10 years as it slowly decomposes. Plants stay hydrated longer between waterings and survive drought conditions that kill neighboring gardens. Use hardwood like oak or maple, because it lasts longer than softwoods and provides better water storage capacity than pine or spruce alternatives. Priority bonus tip. Here's the thing most people don't realize about Amish gardening success. It's not about doing one brilliant technique. It's about stacking simple systems that support each other. When you combine companion planting with crop rotation, mulching with specialized watering, and soil building with natural pest control, each practice makes the others work better. That's the real secret: integration, not isolation. Think about it this way. Deep watering encourages strong root growth, which makes plants more resilient to pests. Crop rotation prevents pest buildup, which means healthier plants that respond better to organic fertilizers. Mulching conserves moisture, which allows deep watering schedules to work even better. Cover crops build soil, which makes succession planting more productive. Each technique amplifies the others, creating a garden ecosystem that becomes more productive and less demanding every season. The Amish don't rush. They understand that a 3-year soil building program creates conditions that last decades. They know that wooden tools maintained properly serve multiple generations. They recognize that rain barrels and clay pot irrigation systems installed once work forever without electricity or replacement parts. This long-term thinking creates gardens that become easier to maintain over time rather than more difficult. Start with just 3 techniques from this list. Master those. Then add 3 more next season. By year 3, you'll have integrated 9 methods that work together seamlessly. By year 5, you'll have built a garden system that practically runs itself, just like the Amish have done for centuries. The modern world wants instant results, but Amish wisdom teaches patient accumulation of simple practices. Each small improvement builds on previous ones. Within a few seasons, your garden will require less work, produce more food, and cost almost nothing to maintain. That's not magic. That's the power of integrated traditional knowledge applied consistently over time. The question isn't whether these methods work. 300 years of Amish success proves they do. The question is, are you willing to start simple, think long-term, and let these practices work together? Because that's where the real transformation happens. So no matter your space, your experience, or your resources, you can start where you are and build a garden that produces abundantly, without chemicals, without complexity, and without breaking your back. These 20 Amish secrets have sustained families for over 300 years through economic depressions, world wars, droughts, and every challenge nature could throw at them. They'll work just as powerfully in your backyard because they're based on understanding how nature works, not fighting against it. The beauty of these methods is their accessibility. You don't need expensive equipment, special training, or perfect conditions. You need patience, observation, and willingness to work with natural cycles instead of against them. Start small. Pick 1 or 2 ideas from today and try them this coming season. Let them teach you something. Watch how your garden responds. Make notes. Adjust. Build on what works. Drop a comment and tell me which secret surprised you most or which one you're starting with. I'd love to hear about your growing conditions and what challenges you're facing. This community learns best when we share experiences. And if you haven't yet, subscribe and join us here at Zero to Purpose, where we grow life one simple, time-tested project at a time. Every week we explore practical, sustainable approaches to living more intentionally. Thanks for being here. Thanks for caring about growing food the right way. See you in the next one.